Burnout in Esports by Aites, Bella Louise, Hannah Zeppenfeld, and Ryleigh Hendrickson. What is burnout? According to the APA Dictionary of Psychology, burnout is defined as physical, emotional, or mental exhaustion, accompanied by decreased motivation, lowered performance, and negative attitudes towards oneself and others. Burnout is a state of exhaustion that is work-related. This stems from mental and emotional conditions that can lead to being physically exhausted. Burnout in esports. Preventions for burnout can be easy to identify but hard to fulfill. Thinking about anyone who experiences burnout through different jobs, activities, sports, etc., it is easier said than done to prevent burnout. It is common to become easily burnout in the early and later parts of participating in esports. Players pride themselves in the long hours, time, and work that they put into their games and PCs. 60% of new gamers experience burnout early on into their career. Generally, players play at least 2 official matches per week, plus endless hours of practice and scrimmages. For important tournaments, there is added stress and pressure. Esports players truly don't get enough time to themselves. Esports players facing pressure and stress. According to a study that was conducted at the University of Chichester, they discovered that esports players faced 51 different stress factors, which have included communication complications and having disadvantages when being in front of a live audience. There is not much background with discovering the psychological factors that go into being involved with esports, as the career really hasn't existed for that long. When gamers are competing in top flight contests, they are shown to have significant stressors. Coping strategies can be given to these gamers to relieve their stressors and benefit their performance level. Mental health and burnout. There are many factors of mental health issues and burnout within esports players. Studies have shown that esports athletes play roughly 9 to 14 hours a day on their games. This alone can cause a stress of wanting to feel complete with their game, lack of sleep, social anxiety within players. It is important for players to remember that they are more than their game and their gaming career. According to Self-Care Matters, 34% of players think about getting enough sleep, 38% don't forget about their mental preparation, and 32% take breaks to move around when possible. These numbers are significantly low when thinking about the amount of people globally who play games for fun and professionally. Mental health stays silent in esports. Justin McGrath, who was part of one of the biggest tournaments in esports, experienced a panic attack and later explained on Twitter that it was the first time he had ever experienced that during an event. The best video game players are not only lauded for their specific skills on a controller or a mouse, but also for their steely minds, which are perpetually capable of withstanding the harsh judgment and pressure that seems to emanate from every angle of their lives. The author explains that during a competition season, gamers will only have 1 day off during the week to themselves, which does not allow them to take any breaks. This is compared to other sports schedules where they may have up to 3 days off a week in sports such as hockey, basketball, or football. Some gamers have experienced much pressure to which it affects their attitude because they don't want to fail or let down their fans. Challenges with making friends or relationships due to gamers having majority of their time being dedicated to esports and gaming is also a severe issue that should be looked at, especially when it comes to the mental health of esports players. They need connections. Esports organizations are asking too much. During the Overwatch League tournament, competitors were left with almost no time for rest. Back-to-back matches and so many people viewing the tournament lead to no rest and so much stress for these competitors. By guaranteeing players minimum salaries, it was hoped that Overwatch would provide a good example of how esports could look after its competitors in the future. But after how the players were treated, it was completely against everything the creator wanted for this tournament and for these players. Over time, there's been a lack of security for competitors who are much younger than others. How to prevent burnout. Common ways of preventing burnout are as follows. Take breaks from streaming and gaming. Allow yourself time to breathe and exist outside of your game and your career. It can allow your brain and body to relax and take stress off your body. Get 8 hours of sleep, although it may be difficult, and spend time with friends and family. Those connections are so important to your mental health and well-being. Thank you for listening to our presentation on Esports Burnout by Ryleigh Hendrickson, Aites, Louise, and Hannah Zeppenfeld.